So that is why you hire a real estate professional before you ever buy a house. How's it going? Any changes on a contract need to be initialed. License numbers are numerical, meaning that like I got licensed almost 4 years ago, my license is 690. Hers is like 739. Okay. So she just got her license, probably got her license with the intent to probably try to wholesale or...
This is, yeah, from the whole experience, like from the very beginning, I was like, these people don't know what they're doing. Like,
yeah, so she like in the contract didn't put any dollar amount for the financed cash. It was like you were buying the house for free. And then she scratched that out and put $215.
Yeah.
So anything scratched out on a contract needs to be initialed. It wasn't initialed by her or you or neither of you. If I send something to my title company actually knows like what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
She'll send me it back, hey, your buyer's missing the signature on page 7 or something. Hey, your buyer's missing the change of contract on page 2. I don't know how any title company receipted this contract as an official contract from day one. At that point, things are gonna have to probably be stretched out time-wise, because whenever you get an attorney involved, right, like it's going to not be timely. And these are the conversations I had with her too. Like he doesn't want to have to get an attorney. You know, I told her your financial position, like he doesn't have, you know, he's already willing to give your agent some kind of financial compensation, which he shouldn't have to, right? From the get-go, he shouldn't have to do that. A buyer has a right to go after the seller just as much as the seller has a right to go after the buyer. So no one performed on that contract, no one closed, right? So the buyer in this case is going after you, which you have every right as a seller to go after the buyer for not performing either. How have you been recording conversations before, like phone to phone?
Yeah, we'll have it on the phone.
Okay. Like, hey, she's calling.
Yeah,
I looked it up. Get it recorded.
I looked it up. I was like, can you record it?
Yeah, I did have you.
As long as one of the parties.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the Spark Notes version as much as I can. Basically, I tried to help an individual sell his house about 13 months ago. COVID happened. It didn't wind up selling because everyone didn't know what the hell was going on. So we just, you know, took it off the market, and, you know, they've been living here since. I'm over at their place right now. They've been living and doing some stuff during COVID. And then they had it needs a bit of work. So they had an investor reach out, didn't really consult me because it'd been, you know, many months since. And they were like, oh yeah, bottom number, that's what we need. Okay, sell it to us. Signed a contract, called it a day. They didn't perform. The buyer wound up saying basically to him, hey, the contract's expired. You know, you can go do your own thing, basically. Like the house, you know, we don't want the house kind of thing. Then they wound up getting another investor and had a formal termination from that. So that's kind of null and void. Then I picked it up as, you know, to put it back on the MLS with the way our market is. We got it under contract within a day or two. We were set to close tomorrow. Title company found a memorandum from the first buyer back in January, February timeframe that basically reached out to them, got a hold of them, and they said, oh yeah, we'll sign it, you know, and, you know, Friday, tomorrow we're supposed to close. Well, now I guess maybe because the buyer realized like, hey, this, you know, my clients can't close or my clients can't sell their house unless this is removed, they're gonna throw out, oh, well, we need 10 grand. So that's basically where they are now. Now we're supposed to close tomorrow and they want 10 grand for basically walking in the house and getting their contractor to say, hey, it's too much work for the price that you guys got it at.
Well, let's see what with her discussions that you have had with the broker concerning this situation. Let's see first if anything comes of it. If not, then, you know, maybe I can give them a call.
Okay.
But, so in the meantime, what's your seller doing? Just waiting?
Well, he has a U-Haul coming today to move his stuff out to close tomorrow. Like I said, significant other already gave her 2 weeks notice, and, you know, he's done working here, and they're basically set to leave. And now they're being held basically for 10 grand.
Hostage by this
yeah, and
agent who didn't want the property but wants to make 10 quick grand.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be in the area too. Swing by if you guys want to talk more about it, if it's a lengthy conversation or whatnot. But yeah, update me when you can.
Absolutely.
All right. I'll be in touch. Of course. This was someone that I was looking to help sell their house last year. Then the pandemic hit. It didn't wind up working out. The house needs quite a bit of work, so they decided that they would sell to an investor. The investor didn't even wind up wanting it, but there was no formal termination. So now that we put it on the market, have someone willing to buy it, they are now holding my sellers to that contract since there was no termination and asking for 10 grand. So they are individuals that are walking away from the property with about $1,000 and leaving the state to find more jobs in Colorado or a new job in Colorado. They don't have 10 grand to spare to give to a low life investor. So they're going to be having a call here in a couple hours or in about an hour to see if there's a resolution. If there's not, we're going to get attorneys involved, and it's going to be a lot more fun than it already has been. So again, if you're looking to invest, if you're looking to purchase a property, make sure, just like if you were gonna go get a divorce, you're gonna hire a divorce attorney. 99% of the time, if you're gonna handle a real estate transaction that is likely hundreds of thousands of dollars, make sure you hire a real estate agent or professional to make sure you're taken care of.
Capital Title, this is Catherine.
Yeah, so I have a receipted contract from you. I don't know if you're the only escrow officer. It doesn't state a name on here, but it was receipted by your guys' title company, and I just personally wanted to call and kind of get an idea of your guys' processes. I use another title company, or I've used a ton of different title companies as an agent. And if there's anything wrong with a contract when it comes in, usually the title company will turn back around to the agent or whatnot and ask them to correct X, Y, or Z before a contract's even accepted. In this case, there was multiple corrections within the contract that were not initialed by either party in multiple cases, as well as other cases where it was initialed by one party and not by both parties.
I'm not understanding why you would be concerned about that if this issue's already handled.
Well, are you a continuously running business and title company?
I'm not following this line of questioning at all. I mean, you're asking me to answer questions on matters of law. I'm not an attorney.
No, I'm asking you what you do as an escrow officer as your job when you receive a contract.
You're fully aware that title companies cannot interpret contracts, and we can't make determinations as to whether or not something is valid or not.
Okay. Do you have an attorney at your guys' office that owns Capital Title?
Yeah, this really doesn't need to go any further. I have a closing who just walked in. I need to go take care of those folks, and then it looks, from what you said, it sounds like the issue on Pecan Valley that you have is going to be resolved, and everybody's going to be moving forward on that one.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it.
Okay. You have a good day.
You too. She doesn't know how to do her job. Probably about 2 months ago, my duplex during the winter storm got a ton of damage to it. So we went in, remodeled the entire thing, had to go through my first insurance claim with a real estate property. Everything, for the most part, is completed. So we're gonna show you what it looks like afterwards, after the work's been completed. There are a couple last minute items that needs to be done, but first time through insurance, I can tell you that it's been a complete pain in the ass. An insurance claim takes a while, but then you got everyone claiming insurance claims because of the storm, and then just the massive amount of people that have to be involved with all the claims. The communication was horrible, but I got paid out. Most people usually get paid out by insurance and then pocket some. In this case, I essentially used all of the money that the insurance company paid me. So my tenants, needless to say, are a little bit happier than they were before, even though they've been out of their place for 2 months. I had to replace all the cabinetry, but I replaced the countertops with quartz countertops in a duplex, which is not standard in this market. I believe there was laminate countertops before. I also redid all the paint. The paint was quite old, and they got an accent wall as well. So overall, the tenants are going to be much happier. Not that they weren't happy before, but they're getting essentially a whole new first floor. So we'll get some footage of that. This was completely demoed out. I've actually got a really, really good cabinet guy that came in here, did all the cabinets. They're actually much better quality than the previous cabinets. This is also quartz countertops. This is probably completely over what, a duplex in this area should have. But cost-wise, I think compared to like level 1 granite, it was another $500 or so. They've got a deeper sink here. The sink's missing its faucet, which is here, that'll get installed some point today. And then they do have backsplash, which is another addition that was not included previously. This is gonna be just a dark gray subway tile backsplash. It's gonna be all the way across the back end here. So it's gonna be a completely new kitchen. There was also very old lighting up here. They just put a dome light up here now too. This tile down here is all brand new, modern tile. This entire room obviously has been painted. Trim work's been redone. There's not much lighting in here, but this is the accent wall that's gonna be a darker gray versus the white walls here. And the biggest thing was obviously this wall here. This wall here upwards, kind of up in this direction is where the pipe actually leaked and then made its way down through the rest of the house. So this whole wall has been retextured and repainted. Didn't do a ton of work in here, but this is brand new carpet and they're gonna finish out the trim work in here. However, another thing to deal with insurance is there's always gonna be additional stuff that comes up. The tenant actually gave me notice that there's a little bit of water damage on the backside. So this tile inside of the bathroom is likely going to be ripped up and replaced. That's gonna have to be a supplemental claim that I do down the road. So all in all, I think insurance wound up paying me a little over $12,000 for this work to be done. Obviously you have a deductible you need to pay. The deductible is about 1% of your purchase price. I purchased this back in 2017 for a little under 300 grand. It's actually 1% of your replacement cost of the entire duplex, which is 310, I think is what it's insured at. So I paid about a $3,000 or $3,100 deductible, which is just gonna go straight from my bank account that I have all of my rental income coming from. And then here in the next week or two, I should be finally paid out the rest from insurance and likely break about even. Shit, we got 22 minutes. How far is it away? Frisco. All right, we are done for the day, headed back to the office to close up shop. Just finished up with a closing. That closing was a build job, so it's kind of been in the works for the last 6 to 9 months or so. Happy for him to be able to move into a really, really nice house. But regarding all the other stuff that happened today, obviously I've been in real estate 3.5, 4 years now. I've seen a ton of great things happen. Obviously, I get to help people day in and day out. And, you know, I've unfortunately seen a lot of bad things happen, such as investors buying properties and trying to flip them and losing a ton of money, or people taking advantage of other people. In this case, you know, my client very much was almost taken advantage of. Fortunately, they had a call while we were at closing that they came to kind of a conclusion with all of this matter and are going to go ahead and sign the document that needs to be signed, and they're not going to have to pay them anything, which is a win-win for all parties. Or I guess a win-win for my client. Not that the other individual should have been warranted any money or compensation, but at the end of the day, you really need to make sure if you're going to purchase a house or if you're going to invest in real estate that you surround yourself with the right kind of people. I've been blessed with the opportunity to work with so many great people, my transaction coordinator, my business manager, my lender, who's my best friend, and as well as all the other great real estate agents that I know across the country that do a tremendous job. This profession is not full of just great people. It's full of some really, really shady people. In this case, it was an agent that was essentially representing a foreign buyer. The foreign buyer was fine with signing the document, but the agent wanted to take advantage of my client or the seller. Fortunately enough, we are all human beings, and they were able to understand where my seller's position is at and release them of the contract. But again, make sure you know who you're getting into, and if you're gonna start involving yourself in real estate transactions, make sure you have someone that knows what they're doing. For instance, a agent. And to be honest with you, not all real estate agents are the same. You're gonna get some really low-life, shady real estate agents, such as the one in this situation, and then you're gonna get some absolutely terrific and great people that are real estate agents. Again, just make sure you surround yourself with the right kind of people.